lot of you guys have been asking, Eli, what can I purchase for under $400,000 in Albuquerque? Like, I got a tight budget. I still want to buy a house, but I want to make sure that it's affordable. This guy here, 5705 Piedra, is listed on the market for $385,000. Now, this house, before I give you the tour of it, is dope. It's fully renovated. You got marble, tile, brick, all that stuff in this house, right? We're also going to give you the hot topic about why this area, Paradise West and Paradise Hills all together on the west side of Albuquerque, is a hot neighborhood to move to. So hang tight, grab your pen and your pad. Let's get into today's video. There's a few things that I see people get hung up on when they're looking for houses anywhere, and that's they don't want the master plan, cookie cutter neighborhood where everything is pretty much stacked on top of each other. Now, New Mexico offers a ton of homes like this, and I'll flip the camera around so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This house here has a ton of yard space. You have the side yard access over there where they got this massive RV parked on the side, and you actually have side yard access. So essentially a whole another driveway. And then you got your traditional driveway over here. And then what separates this house from all the other ones is this unique feature of these steps here walking up to the house. Surprised I haven't fell because of how much I've been stepping up and down these guys and how far I actually have to spread my little legs just to get to the next step. What's cool is as soon as you walk in, you see all the updated features. You're gonna see marble countertops, updated light fixtures, clean paint, baseboards, flooring, and then this massive table that gets dwarfed really in this space here because you can fit about 8 people on this table and it still feels small. So you still got a ton of space here. So the whole open concept, and this house is over 2,000 square feet and they used it well. And the open layout that you get here, it's dope. That kitchen space to work around it, if you like cooking and you have family over, they're not gonna be all in your bubble while you're trying to get the business handled and get the food nice and ready for the party. Walking over here, stainless steel appliances throughout the house. Got a nice view of the backyard with a covered patio that we'll check out later. But even the counter space is a lot. And this island, I know you really can't tell through the video, it's massive. And the space here, the gap that they have here is like, it's big. I don't know what other words to tell you, but walking into this washroom, you're gonna see that it's big. Sorry, the light just went out, but it's big enough to put another table in there to make folding laundry and doing all the laundry a lot more easy and convenient. Now, what I like to see in houses nowadays is character. I like to see something different, and I know you might like that too. So in this house, you're gonna get this awesome red brick floor throughout the living space here, and this space is massive. It even has a other bedroom over here that you can use as a bedroom or an office space that has a massive walk-in closet and an entrance and an exit to the backyard from that bedroom / office space. So what's cool about this space here is the size, the red brick floor, the wood burning fireplace. Like they used to have a massive couch here that actually felt dwarfed in this room and a massive TV that went on that wall. And what I like about this home is the wood burning fireplace. And you can tell that they used it because of the burn marks that are on top here. Nice cold night like the ones we've been having just recently. This space is totally the vibe and totally the space to be on a late evening enjoying your wine or early in the morning enjoying some coffee. Not really having to go outside, even though you can because you got this massive door here that slides open. It's just all the vibes. Let's go check out this other office space bedroom so you can see what I'm talking about, right? You got a nice little desk in here, twin size bed, and then you got the walk-in closet with the access to the backyard from here. So if you got a teenager, father-in-law, mother-in-law that you're moving with you, and you want them to have their own space without having to really use the front door or the garage door, this might be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the east side of the house, show you all that side of the house has to offer. Yo, what's going on? I wanted to hop in real quick just to interrupt your flow of the video a bit, just to remind you that if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom, because if you are planning on relocating down to New Mexico, Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, or any of these other great cities, we'd love to help you out. Now, if you are planning on moving down here, as much as I love doing these videos, I would love to also help you out with your real estate needs. And that number popping up on the screen here is my direct line. So if you have any more questions, you want to get details on this house here, I love to get that information to you. So call or text me at any time. Now let's get back into the video. Now with over 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, possible 4, big open concept, like this house just makes sense. And these are the things that I pay attention to when I'm walking through a house. I look at all the structural, mechanical, the flow, did they maintain the house and all that stuff. And this house here is probably one of the better ones that I've seen on the market. And that's not just because I'm trying to boast about a house that we have on the market, but it's just being honest. And for the price tag of $385,000, makes it all worth it. But walking into this side of the house where most of the bedrooms are, this bedroom here in the front is oversized. You can fit a queen size bed in here comfortably with the desk, or maybe just a little seating area for that person that's gonna be sleeping here. Then you got this bedroom here that's a little bit more on the average size, but nevertheless, they still got a desk in here. So you got a ton of space. Bathrooms are all updated, and they use this nice tile that goes from floor to ceiling basically, and you still get a tub. And the tile matches the one on the wall. Super dope. Now they do have refrigerated air in this house, so you aren't gonna have to fuss and fester with evaporative coolers. And if you know anything about those, they're just a pain in the butt in my opinion. But this primary bedroom, still got a ton of room. You could fit a king size bed, massive TV with the dresser there, and the closets over here just add extra space for all your stuff, or junk, if you're asking my wife. Coming into the primary bathroom, you're gonna see some of the same features that we've seen in the other bathroom, but this shower is massive. Like you can host a whole party in there. Don't recommend it, you might slip and fall, but if you wanted to, that's all on you. So there you have it. This house here is pretty dope, and with all the features that it has, it's pretty much a no-brainer. The roof is less than 5 years old, the windows have been changed out, and you got refrigerated air. So all of that has been done within the past 5 years. And I don't know if you're watching this in 2025 or in 2030, but there is still a possibility of you purchasing a house just like this one here at an affordable price. You've heard it everywhere. If you've been doing your own research, you've been seeing all the negative comments, all the bad things that people have to say about Albuquerque, but nobody really has anything good to say anymore. And that's why I really love doing this, because we flip it all in its head. Talking about why homes like this, why neighborhoods like this, and areas like this in Albuquerque are becoming more desired year after year is just something that I like doing because it goes against the grain. I'm a bit of a rebel. And with drinking this coffee here, trying to stay warm in this cold house, I want you to know that homes like this still exist. Homes that have been updated, have a little bit more yard, and just have a ton of offer as far as the area and the neighborhood goes, still exists under $400,000. The average home price in the United States is around $450,000. If you're looking in California, it's $900,000. Denver's around $500,000. Texas is a little bit over $400,000. So it speaks volume. When you find a city that can still offer you a 2,000 square foot house that has been updated and the neighborhood is clean, you're instantly attracted to it. Like there's nothing else that I can say. So with that being said, just flipping the script and showing you areas like this are the reason why Albuquerque homes are becoming more desirable, because they're affordable, the areas are great, and it just really shows you a different side to all that negativity. So I hope that helps. Now, why the west side? Why would anybody look to move to Albuquerque and move to the west side of Albuquerque, right? I'm glad that you're going in against the grain, Eli. I'm glad that you're being a bit of a rebel and giving us the straightforward answer, and that's what I'm here to do, right? Because why else would you be on this channel watching these videos? You want to know the realness about living here. And the west side, I'll just tell you this much. A lot of people are looking to move to this side of town just because it's more desired. There's a lot more homes up here. They're a lot newer. In most cases, like this house, they're going to be built in the 60s and 70s, especially in some of the areas up here in Paradise Hills. Now we're in Paradise West, which is a subsection of Paradise Hills, but nevertheless, it still has a ton to offer with top-rated schools. All the shopping, malls, and restaurants that you could possibly want and need are like literally like 5 minutes down the road from here. You hop on Irving and you're all there. Or you hop on McMahon and you're at Cottonwood Mall. Like, what more could you want? And easy access to Paseo from here. Like, Paseo is like 5 minutes from here. So living on the west side just offers a ton of convenience if you're looking for a little bit more suburban, looking for a house with a little bit more yard space, and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg for it because, again, if you're looking for something like this on the east side, you may be paying over $500,000 for it, right? And that's just the nature of the beast. The east side has a ton of good things to offer when it comes down to affordability and what you can get for your money. The west side is the way to go. You know I'm all about setting the vibe. I talk about setting the vibe and making sure that the space feels great, and I'm super hippy dippy when it comes to that. And you might be too, I don't know. But if you are like me and you wanna know like, hey, like, what is it like when you're living there? What's the vibe? And to be honest with you, it's gonna be chill. I've been sitting here for a few hours doing content and just making sure that this house is ready for showings. And I've seen just maybe a handful of cars and seen like one person walking up and down the street. Take it with a grain of salt. I think kids are still in school and people are still at work. So I'm sure that it does get busy in the evenings with kiddos coming home from school, just going out in the streets to play, people walking up and down the streets to enjoy their evening walk and really enjoying the neighborhood. For me, when I see that kind of stuff personally, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I picked the right area. Now, the vibe here, when you're talking about like convenience and commercial buildings and all that stuff, for the majority, they've done a great way of planning when it comes down to putting things where they need to be, and they put everything on Unser and Coors. So it's gonna be out of the way of the neighborhoods. You're not gonna get a bunch of traffic coming through here. So for the majority, it's gonna be all controlled and contained. So when you are worried about traffic and more people and all that stuff because you like to walk to neighborhoods in the evenings and you wanna make sure that it's safe, that you're not gonna have to deal with a ton of traffic, so long as you stay off those main roads, a lot of the neighborhoods are gonna be quiet and super walkable. Now, you are also gonna get homes like this that are unique and updated. And just to give you a little bit of history, back in the day, the west side, when it was starting to really get renovated and built in the 60s and the 70s, they really try to make a lot of the homes up here in Paradise Hills like luxurious per se. So you're gonna get a lot of those older luxury feels, big open spaces, taller ceilings, and some pretty dope houses. So if you're into all that and that vibe is what you're seeking, let's help you move to the west side. I'm gonna try to give you like the 1,000-foot view of what to expect when you live on this side of town. The west side has a ton to offer, but I'll be honest with you guys, this might contradict some of the things that I talked about, and you're gonna be like, okay, Eli, all right, I get it now. You are gonna see more traffic on this side of town, and there's a few reasons why. There's no real dedicated freeway system, there's a lot more people living on this side of town, and plus people actually have to pass through here if they're not gonna use I-25 to get to Rio Rancho, so you are gonna deal with more traffic in most cases on the main roads, not so much going into your neighborhoods and all that stuff, but mainly on Unser and Coors and Paseo, of course. Now, another thing that I like to talk about is how planned this community on the west side is, because everything that is commercial is dedicated closer to those main roads on Unser and Coors. So you really aren't gonna have a whole ton of convenience stores, gas stations, and all that stuff within your neighborhoods. They're all gonna be along these major roads. Another thing that I like to bring up is that this side of town has bigger lots in most cases. So if you're not up for the yard work, you don't wanna have to deal with that, then you might wanna look somewhere south or somewhere where it's a little bit more master plan, where the houses are closer together so you don't have all that extra yard space, because for whatever reason on the west side, the weeds just grow like crazy. It rains once and those weeds just grow like 3 feet tall. If you ever had to deal with that kind of stuff, then you know. And yes, stuff does grow on the west side. I don't know if it's because of the volcanic rock that's spread out through all the soil here, because the 3 volcanoes on this side of town are very clear to see. And yes, we have volcanoes here, like mind-blowing, right? We have a ton of features and landscaping diversities that a lot of people don't know about, but that's why you're here, right? Pricing and competition on this side of town can get expensive because it is more desirable. You are gonna have a lot more people looking to move to this side of town, so houses like this won't last long. So I highly recommend that if you are planning on moving to the west side, you get all your ducks in a row and we can help you do that. And you just prepare yourself to have a competitive situation when you're making that offer, right? Because if you're wanting to buy a house like this, I'm sure somebody else is too. So make sure that you gear yourself up to either make a very compelling offer, and I can help you do that when we do go look at houses like this, or just give you the scoop on like, hey, this is what I think you should do if you are planning on purchasing that house, right? Regular realtor talk. And we're not here for that. We're here to learn about the west side of Albuquerque, Eli. So any of this doesn't deter you and you're like, okay, So what? Like, that's better than dealing with 2 hours, 3 hours of traffic in Dallas. That's better than buying $1 million house that looks like a shack in Los Angeles. Like, I'm up. Let's move, Eli. I can help you with that. We just cut out that last clip, like, so like nonchalant, like, let's move on. But we are cutting the video here, and as I sit in this backyard and just kind of tour it a little bit, it's pretty awesome. Like, there's a ton of space here. There's like so much that you can do back here, and with all the matured trees that you're gonna see in a backyard like this, the majority of the West Side has mature trees, believe it or not. You are gonna be getting what you pay for. So if this interests you, if you wanna know more about this house, you wanna see different houses on the West Side, or you're just looking to relocate to Albuquerque altogether, I'd love to help you out. And that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. As much as I love doing these videos, I would love to help you with your real estate needs, because we are licensed brokers. Me and my team are ready to help you out with that move. But I gotta go pick up groceries. It's Halloween, so happy Halloween. You're probably seeing this the weekend after. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I hope you were safe, and I hope you got a ton of candy. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.